guys, welcome to another episode of the Big Apple School podcast, where the goal of this show is to help you learn English through listening. My name is Benjamin, and today I'm joined with three guests. Our first guest today is...
Varya.
Excellent. And our second guest?
Natalia.
And our third guest?
Ugur.
And so how do you pronounce your name, Ugur?
I pronounce my name like Ugur, but some people have difficulties to pronounce it. That's why I just tell my name like Ugur.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a Turkish name. It's really interesting. So you were saying what's interesting about the letter G in Turkish?
G, we have soft G like umlaut on it. Like we pronounce it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very interesting. So so Ugur.
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. So let's get started. So today we're going to talk about the subject of the future of work. Possibly we'll talk about universal basic income, the FIRE movement, downshifting, and the slow living concept. Let's get started, guys. So do you guys live to work or do you work to live? So let's start with Varya. What would you say?
Well, I adhere to the concept of live.
Live to work or work to live?
Yeah,
which way
either one
round?
of them. Live to work. No, work to live. Neither one.
I think, it's kind of an interesting concept to divide it because it's like, it's not the same. When you're working, you're not living, but it's kind of a paradox, you know?
I just live. I should live just to live, I think.
Yeah.
Just live it.
Yeah,
work
live
is
it.
just
do it.
part of your life, basically.
Well, some cultures are more stereotypically hard, like really hard working. For instance, in Japan,
Japanese
people will work
South
it's
Korean
crazy
people,
crazy long hours. In America too. So Varya, what is the work culture like
I
in
think
America?
so. It is really changing, and I'm not up to date on that. I had to ask my daughter a few years ago, what is it now? But it used to be really, it's really like the American collective attitude that you work really hard and you'll be successful. And it's that immigrant's a dream, come to America. If you work hard, anyone can make it. And we have literature like that, especially like in the 1930s. I don't know if you've ever read anyone by the name of Horatio Alger.
Oh, I don't know this person.
Yeah. Well, in the 1930s, he wrote books specifically for little boys to learn how to work hard and you will be successful.
Oh, so how would the book
It would
demonstrate this?
trace a life of some fictional boy. And he'll go through some kind of challenges, but he always makes it at the end. And it's during the Great Depression, which Russia was not affected because they were isolated from the world, but it really affected America and Europe. And so we needed something inspirational to work hard and you can make it, some kind of recipe. And also Little House on the Prairie was also written in the 1930s. And this was a very successful TV series in the 80s, I think. And this is how the pioneers came and carved out their life.
Yep.
And I relate to that because my great-grandmother, my French grandmother, Emily Fortier, was actually kicked out by the Brits from outside of Quebec. I'm sorry. They kicked out the French, and she came down in a covered wagon, a real pioneer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So was this on which coast, which side of America? Was this on?
Well, out of Quebec. Then she went down into the Midwest, and this was the West that we were.
Westward expansion.
Yes, the westward expansion, and so settled in Kansas, the real prairie.
Fascinating. Wow. And did she speak any French?
Oh yeah, she was all French.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. She didn't speak English at all.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So, but that is what I've always believed. You work hard and you'll be successful. But then my life, I worked hard and then I wasn't. And I said, there's something wrong with this formula. So it's not really guaranteed.
So would you say it's more of like a Germanic British attitude versus the more Mediterranean attitudes? Because
I think so.
In France, people like to enjoy and Spain and Italy.
Yeah,
people like
have their siestas, or they're open late at night and the children are up. And,
yes. I read somewhere that the French, well, at one point at least, it was illegal in France to have lunch at your desk. I mean, maybe you know something about this.
I've
Natalie.
never heard of it, to be honest, but it sounds French. Yeah, it sounds like it could be in France.
Well, also very French is to let children drink wine and they dilute it with water.
Yeah.
And so that's quite, we're too puritanical in America. We wouldn't ever give.
Well, you said puritanical. Do you think the puritanical? Well, where does Puritanism come from? And maybe that is a reason behind America's hard-working culture.
Well, actually, the Protestants were the ones who really put forth this
Work ethic.
Yes, work ethic. I think.
Yeah, and you said, well, you had some experience in France, don't you?
Yeah, but
Or
it was
with
just
French?
4 months. But yeah, actually, I'm teacher of French too, so I know
Yeah.
a lot about culture.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, but yeah, it's more relaxed, I think. But again,
But they
Not
do
as
produce
much
a
as-
lot of things in France. It's not like France is not an industrious country. It does produce a lot of.
yeah, definitely. But I think there is a bit less tension. You know,
Yeah.
we speak about the work and holidays and stuff like that. But again, it's not as relaxed as Spain, probably. Maybe it's connected to the climate or something like that, you know, because it's not so hot.
Yeah.
It's not as hot
Yeah,
as in
everything
Spain,
is
for example.
slower in
Yeah,
hotter weather.
yeah,
That would be
exactly.
like the southern region
Definitely.
of the United States.
Yeah.
Everything's slower.
Yeah, like in Asia too.
Yeah.
Well, what about Turkey? So, what is the work ethic like there? Do people? Because I would imagine Turks are pretty hard workers,
Yeah.
at least throughout Europe.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. The working culture is like, all right, work hard, play hard. So you start working early in the day and just end up just late in daytime. So it's kind of a stereotypical thing for Turkish people to work
it's really
hard.
interesting because Turkey, of course, is a really hot country, but all the other Mediterranean countries are equally hot, if not sometimes more hot. Maybe not hotter, but yeah, where does that come from? Do you think?
I don't know, but if we divide it into two, like the southern coast of Turkey versus Istanbul and Ankara, the capital,
Yep.
the things differ differently. Kind of, all right, Istanbul people are kind of working like a machine, like clockwork, but the southern coast is kind of like more relaxed. They don't care that much, so they start working like late in the morning and end up early. So it depends on the climate, as we discussed. Yeah.
Maybe it's actually connected to the, how close the country is to the sea.
See, yeah.
Like, wow, interesting theory.
I don't know. It might have to do with money. I mean, if maybe the rich can do something, they can have more time for leisure, where the poor have to work in some kind of factory or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is it not a city country divide thing? I mean, obviously, every major country has a capital city versus the rest of the country.
They say farmers work hard. I mean, they have to get up
Yeah.
when the rooster crows.
Yeah. I guess, would you say that farming is a more enjoyable? I mean, I know this is kind of a different topic, but, well, not really. It's talking about work. We're talking about
Well,
work.
I think that we have to divide the farming into personal farming and then where you own your own land and
Yeah.
you sell it, and then the corporation.
yeah.
I don't think that's so enjoyable. They're out for the money.
Yeah, industrial farming. Yeah. And would you say, so Natalie, would you say in Russia there's a Moscow work ethic versus the rest of the country work ethic?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, in Moscow they're like much more workaholics. You know, like I have a lot of friends there, and they work a lot, like literally. Like I have some students there, especially lawyers. You know, and they work like 9 to 9 basically, so 12 hours at least. So it's crazy. Yeah.
A lot has to do with competition. They want to get
that's
ahead.
true.
They want to get their promotions.
Yeah, they want to stay in Moscow. Probably.
And you have to be able to afford it.
Yeah. And in America, of course, things are typically slower down south and more relaxed. But I guess people still work hard in the south. But would you say
but it
there's
seems like the younger people now, there's kind of this flexible work hours now. And I think with the pandemic too, the remote work has changed things. Flexible hours. Women who have children, they need to be able to have some flexibility.
Absolutely. So what about Vietnam? Because Ugur was in Vietnam and Thailand for a while. What would you say about?
Yeah, Vietnam was completely different than here in Turkey. So people are kind of, you know what, they start working around 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
That's nice.
that's because of the heat. So they start working like 10, they work like 2 hours. And then when the heat is at the stop, they just stop working again and sleep for 4 hours. Then they start working again, and they end up like 8 or 9 p.m. at the evening. So it's kind of a different kind of work cycle in there.
Yeah.
But they are also hardworking people.
Yeah.
So mostly dealing with farming and farm kind of agriculture and everything. Yeah.
Does anyone know anything about Scandinavian and Dutch?
Yeah, I have some friends there, but I mean, there is a huge rate of unemployment there.
Which
It's
country
really hard to find.
specifically is
Norway.
it? Norway, yeah.
Yeah. So and like it's really hard to find any
I didn't
job.
realize Norway had a high unemployment rate.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And what industry do they?
Again, I don't know how.
Yeah.
Fishing, maybe?
Yeah, probably, maybe. I don't know. Like the friends that I have, they are lawyers. I don't know why, but I have a lot of friends who are lawyers. So,
Typically in
surprisingly so.
Scandinavia, there's they're very industrious countries. They produce a lot of
Steel, metal, and everything like
technology
Sweden.
as well. But they have much lower working hours. They, well, at least in Denmark, I believe they have a concept called. Have you heard of? I think I'm pronouncing it right. Hygge.
Yeah, or Hygge or
Hygge,
something like that.
Yeah. Well, guys, let us know if you know how to pronounce Hygge.
Yes.
So Hygge. I believe this means coziness.
Yeah, it's like chill, all these blankets and, all these comfort candles and so on. Actually, we have a cafe called like this in Novosibirsk. It's really cozy.
Hygge Cafe.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And, it's really, really cute.
Yeah.
It's really nice. You should check it out. A bit of advertising,
Yeah. Well, basically, I've heard the concept that people tend to work 5-hour work days in Sweden, Denmark, maybe Norway. But they also tend to be more effective at working. Would you prefer to have a Scandinavian?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
lifestyle?
probably.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, I kind of do actually at the moment. So.
Yeah.
No, I like all my work hours together.
Yeah.
Because I'm an intense person. When I'm here, I'm ready, got my lipstick on, let's go.
Yes,
And
definitely.
then I want to escape, be free, and do what I want to do. Yeah.
Burn out, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Well, so you just said you burn out after work. Do you all burn out? Do we all burn out? Or do you have a way
After
of...
work?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. It's the opposite.
Not here.
Yeah.
Or not yet. I used to be.
Yeah, you've been
like
here
that.
how long?
Like 6.
Oh.
Yeah, you've been here for a while. It's
5.
amazing how quickly the time flies.
Yeah,
time
it's
flies. I came like on December the 10th,
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah.
And here we are in summertime.
So the time just
Wow.
whipped by. That's amazing. Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, so I mean, usually I love doing my job, but usually I get really tired after I work because there's a lot of talking involved. I mean, I would say that I don't get too energized by talking to people. So I like to come to work, give all my energy, and when I
Really?
come home, I like to just
I think it
hide away.
depends. For me, it's different sometimes. Sometimes I feel really energized, really, I don't know, like I have a lot of energy after some classes. But again, with some students, they take all your energy and they don't
I
give
feel
anything
it.
back.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, ugh, okay.
Yeah. But after work, do you have a hobby after work, or do you?
Too many hobbies, probably.
Well,
to be honest.
So what would you do like on a typical day after work?
So again, it may be meeting with friends, but it's not obviously a hobby. Yeah. It's just
Well,
yeah.
It might be a hobby. It's the only one you have.
Yeah, probably. Okay, it's basically sports. Yeah, like going to the gym. Then it may be singing classes. I've just took up some singing classes. Playing some musical instruments. What else? Reading, watching films, obviously. Yeah. What else?
You are very industrious.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
I mean, personally, after work, do you know what I like to do? I like to sit down.
Oh.
Down and do nothing.
I mean, it works too.
I like to sit down. Maybe I like to do some reading and stuff. Well,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Or are you like that as well?
Yeah, after work, after a hard day's night, I just sit down, have my meal, and just watch something,
Yeah.
or just read,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
just simply sit and being there without doing anything at all. Yeah.
Or Varya, do you like to do a little dance after
Oh yeah.
after work? Or
Yeah, I stand on the fifth.
Yeah. Well, I love how much energy you have to walk up and down the stairs.
Oh,
because
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I have, I'm on the 20th floor, and now that it's spring, well, all through the winter, I go down the stairs.
Good.
And that's like descending. It's like descending from a jump. You're using muscles. But now that it's spring, today will be my second day of going up now. I have to go up. Yes, I'm very disciplined. I have to do that now. It's
Good.
spring.
Actually, going down, I think it's not really good for your knees.
Oh, well, if you hold up and you do proper technique, it's quite,
I see, because 20 floors, wow. That's a long way.
Yeah, 20, well, 19, because you don't count that first floor.
It's the same.
So it's 19. It's only 19.
Yeah.
Okay, only.
All right, so we talked about our energy, we talked about different cultures and work ethic. Let's talk about the topic of downshifting. Does anyone know what downshifting is? This new age concept of downshifting. Can anyone describe what you understand by this?
I guess it's kind of a changing your routine entirely, the working routine or the living routine entirely, and you decide to just do less with your time during your day, I guess. I don't know.
Which means that you would give up some salary, some luxury items,
In a
maybe
way,
some trips, maybe.
Yeah, I can relate myself like we were talking about with Ben and Natalya before. So like 10 years ago, I was a corporate slave. And all of a sudden, then I decided, all right, it's not working out. I'm just quit.
So what did you do?
I said, all right, I'm not doing this anymore.
Oh,
and all
what-
right,
What was your job? Yeah.
I was the field operations manager in one of the leading hospitals in Turkey as a plastic surgery hospital.
I remember you told
wow.
us. Yeah.
And
It's
that
really
was a
interesting.
really, really tough job. All right, I was getting paid well, but then I realized money is not anything, so I don't have a life. I need to do something to change it. Then all of a sudden, for overnight, I decided, all right, it's not working. I need to do something else. So, all right, guys, I'm done.
Did you feel like that was a risk to take, or were you ready to take it?
Yeah, that was a risk. That was a risk. But at that moment, I really didn't care about it because I was so fed up. So all the pressure, all the things, just all at once. And I said, all right, I'm going to get crazy, or I'm going to be someone that I don't want to be. That's why I need to just quit the job. Then I decided to have my teaching certificate and decided to travel the world. Then Vietnam was the first stop. Now here I am.
Yeah, teaching English it's a great job to have because it completely broadens your horizon as well. Yeah. Well, you've taught English in a few places, both of you, Varya, and all of us have taught English in a few places. What would you say? Well, coming back to you, what was the hardest job, Varya, you've ever done?
Oh, well, I guess we have to define hard, because something that you love to do and it's very difficult and it's your passion, then it's not really work. I never called, when I would perform, when I would teach ballet, I never said, oh, I'm going to work now. Never. I'm going to teach, I'm going to rehearsal, I'm going to class. That's how I defined it.
So you didn't feel like you had to downshift from
no,
any
because
job?
even though I put in 18-hour days, it was all for me.
Yeah.
And that makes the difference.
18 hours a day.
Oh, yes. Because I would have class and
But in
rehearsal,
ballet,
and I'd have
it's hard.
teaching. Yeah.
I used to do ballet when I was a kid, so I understand what it is.
And commuting too. That was
Oh,
a big thing.
God.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, you have experience with downshifting physically because you moved from the corporate
World to an English teaching job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Have you had experience of downshifting, Natalie?
Not really. I don't think so. I mean, I was working kind of for a corporate job once. It was for Aeroflot.
Oh, you worked for Aeroflot?
Yeah,
Fascinating.
but it was, just basically kind of technical support. I was taking calls. I was answering calls for people, who were curious about their flights and so on.
So
But
basically just dealing with complaints or...
Exactly. Yeah, but
CRM,
for French and English-speaking people,
Interesting.
Yeah,
So you
it was kind of fun.
You got to use your languages all the time.
It was really nice.
That's amazing.
And there were a lot of cases, when a Russian person calls me, and I understand it's a Russian person, but she speaks French. I don't know why. She understands I speak Russian. She speaks Russian, but still she's like bonjour.
So why not?
And I was like,
Bonjour. Bonjour
you
back.
know, like, okay,
And
let's
did
speak
you
French.
did you burn out from this job eventually?
It was kind of boring because, you know, it was like 2 days work, 2 days rest, and it was 12 hours work every day.
Yeah.
And it was kind of exhausting because you had to sit all the time, and I hate sitting.
Wait, so say again. So you did 2 days on, 2 days off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a similar job like this at a hotel where
Oh.
dealing with it's almost like the same kind of job, dealing with complaining customers,
Yeah.
but 2 days on, 2 days off. And did you like that kind of setup?
I
Having
mean,
2
you
days
could
on.
go somewhere for 2 days. You know, I was living in Vladimir then at that time,
Yeah.
and it was kind of nice. Yeah, we went to many places around Vladimir, like, you know, like all this kind of what is called Golden Ring, yeah, or something like that. Yeah, so a lot of beautiful cities. Yeah, but still, when you work for 12 hours, 2 days in a row, I mean,
Too much, right?
too much. Yeah.
You get a little
So-
wiped out. Yeah, I definitely noticed that when I worked in the
Yeah.
hotel. It was, I mean, working in a hotel. Have any of you ever had experience working in a hotel?
No.
I have.
Oh, you
I
have?
worked at the Flamingo,
Oh yeah, you said this
Right,
before. Yes,
yeah.
and I worked at the hotel right next to the Flamingo.
the
which is-
Imperial Palace.
Yeah, well, the Link now, but that's so funny.
Oh, what is it called? The Link?
The Link, yeah, LINQ. So yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, of course, because we both have experience of lovely sunny
But I wasn't at
Vegas.
a desk like you. I was in the buffet.
Oh,
and
right.
I was to
Wow.
provide the drinks. So coffee, tea, water,
F&B,
orange juice.
yeah.
What
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
one time I got in trouble because I spilled some peas on a guy with a business suit. And he called in the security. And in Las
Really?
Vegas, the security has guns. So
Yeah.
the security came in with guns. And it was a big hullabaloo. And I got in a little bit of trouble.
Really?
Yeah, and the hotel had to pay for the man's dry cleaning suit. And,
Oh dear. So wait, tell me more about. So,
well, it
so
was just
did,
some peas. That's all. some
did you get a
peas.
strike on your record
No,
or
I
something?
think they were more sympathetic toward me, and they thought that he was like going overboard.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got no strikes.
Because working in hospitality industry, you always have people who try to get more.
Yeah.
Right,
And there's
right.
And this is part of the fun of the industry, but it's exhausting. It absolutely depletes your energy. But yeah, I get such a kick out of it. I find it so funny when people get
Seriously.
so angry over such little
and
things.
you're still calm and peaceful, and you try to kind of reassure them. Yeah, I had it too. You know, like
Yeah.
a lot of people just called me, you know, yelling, and I was like, "Okay, I'm listening to your complaint." Yeah, and they were like,
With a big smile on your face. Like,
"Yes, something like that."
You
Yeah,
just absorb all the.
yeah.
Well, are we nice
ignore.
to people when we call and complain? Are we?
I mean,
I'm trying to. You know.
depends. I mean, I try my best not to complain. I
Yeah,
just don't take my
same.
business somewhere if I don't like something. Like, whereas you probably experienced. Well, did people complain to you when you were serving coffee and tea, or?
Yeah, I got complaints, I guess. Yeah, like I was supposed to take the plates away, and one guy stabbed the plate like I'm not done. And so I got the signal that I should not take his plate. So you had to...
The passive aggressive. Well, maybe
Yeah.
not passive aggressive in that context.
Well,
but
stabbing a plate with a fork, yeah, it's pretty aggressive.
yeah, it's not even passive.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's pretty active.
Yeah,
probably.
very active.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got the signal.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I love teaching English, but I kind of miss all the all the drama
Hassle.
from the hotel
Wow.
industry. It was just so. I mean, it is draining. It really is, but it's so funny. Like,
Action.
Kind of
Yeah.
satisfactory, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe in some ways.
and I remember, for instance, I had this guest coming to. When I was in Vegas working at the hotel, I had a guest complaining that there was too much noise outside and that there was
Strip, man. Come on,
yeah, exactly. So this guy came from it was such a strange person. He came from Wales. He was this older guy from Wales, and he came to he came to Vegas, and he was upset that it was a bit noisy outside, and yeah,
What a surprise.
and
yeah.
then he was at the desk for like 45 minutes, and I was just nodding my head saying, yeah,
It
yeah,
is
no, it's
noisy.
noisy.
Yeah.
It's good. 45 minutes.
I feel you.
And then it gets to the point, what do you need?
I'll call the police. What do you want?
Exactly. So yeah, these hospitality jobs, yeah, they can be fun, but a lot of people, it's tough work. I'd say it's probably some of the hardest work. Would you say you can downshift from hospitality? I don't know.
Me too, I think.
Does it apply to hospitality? I don't think.
Yes, definitely. Quit and
be
in
happy.
Vietnam.
Whereas I think downshifting, I think it applies to people who work more in the corporates.
Yeah, probably.
The corporate structure. Yeah. Whereas maybe it doesn't, I don't know. Whereas downshifting's more, would you say it's about less work hours, or would you say it's more about materialism?
It has something to do with doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because in a capitalistic society, it's not set up that we workers do what we want to do. It's all about profit.
Process.
And
Yeah.
All right. The next topic we can look at is not downshifting, but kind of the opposite. Do you know what the FIRE concept is? Financial independence, retire early. Have any of you come across this term before? FIRE. It's a relatively modern, new day or new age concept. Would I say, is the adjective new age correct? New age is more refers more
with
to
the yoga and the meditation.
Okay, so it's
and
just a
the
modern
candles.
day. Yeah. So it refers. Yeah, okay, so we're talking about modern day
Or current times. Or,
occurrence. Yeah, exactly. The occurrence trend. Basically, people work really hard until they're 35 and then retire. Do you think that this is a realistic?
And
I mean,
so
probably.
what is next?
Yeah.
What are you
So
going
what
to
do
do
you
the rest
do?
of your life?
Well,
Yeah.
before we even get to what is next, do you think it's possible for most people to just work really hard and retire
I
at
don't think not
35?
for most people, but for some, yes,
Yeah,
definitely
for
for
some.
some.
Depends what you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
If you're lucky and you get to have that intensity and that amount of money that you can squirrel away, or
Yeah. Well, that's a great verb, to squirrel away. Yeah, it's a great way of saying to save money. Yeah, so to squirrel away. I guess because squirrels
save their little nuts.
yeah, they get the little acorns and they yeah. Does anyone know anyone who's retired at an early age?
Only military.
Military.
Yeah. I guess they retire earlier. Yeah, at the age of 40, I think, or something.
Oh, right.
But I think it's a bit different because it's not about, saving up money. It's not about getting, like
Benefits. Or,
Yeah, you just get the, money from the government.
Yeah.
and
Is it viable? Can you live?
I think, it's
that?
pretty viable.
I think it's a matter of having like a second career.
Yeah,
Because some people who do
exactly.
retire early will go on to their second career.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
teaching again,
Yeah, so I like the idea of retiring at 40. Maybe I should just join that.
Yeah, but what's next, actually?
What is next? So
Yeah.
after that, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, what is next?
Just chill. I don't know.
Well, I guess if I can talk about retirement in the United States, the retirement age in the United States has risen. So, I can legally retire at age 66 and 4 months.
Okay.
And I would get a certain, it's called Social Security.
Yeah.
We don't call it pension, we call it Social Security.
Yeah.
But if I waited till I was 70, then I'd get a little bit more money.
Oh.
There's an incentive to keep going and putting money in the workforce.
Yeah.
So what if you can just retire and continue working?
Yes, you can, but you can only make the limit is $500 a month. So if you make, let's say, $1,000 a month for your with your part-time job, the government will take that other $500.
And you
Okay.
also work in like a certain limited job industries, I guess, right?
Well, you can work in any job you want to. If you're talking about if I were retired, I could work in any job I want to, but just not make more than 500.
Okay.
Do you know the
Oh, that's
difference?
crazy.
Maybe you know the differences between the different retirement bank accounts. So what's a Roth IRA? What's a IRA?
Yeah, I'm just not good with numbers, and I just like float through my life. I just like,
Yeah.
I'm not a normal average person.
Oh.
I just like risk things.
Well, I guess, would you say most people in America have an IRA?
Yeah, it's like that and a 401k.
Yeah.
I have no idea what those things are, and I can't be bothered by it.
Because I briefly worked for a investment or a wealth manager before coming here. Great guy, really interesting guy, and he helped me understand all the different. Well, I still don't understand everything, but he helped me get like a basic understanding. So I believe a Roth IRA is where it's something to do with tax. You pay your tax first.
And
then
you get a refund.
and then
or
you
something?
then you get your pension, and you don't have to pay tax on the pension at a later date. But then a normal IRA, you don't pay tax on the money you earn, your income, but you pay tax when you go to collect your pension.
Well, we don't have a tax on our Social Security unless your Social Security is a lot of money. So I'm not even in that. I'm not.
Oh,
even
okay.
near
Oh, I didn't
that.
realize that.
Yeah.
Because there's so many little nuances with
Yeah.
retirement accounts. In
Sure,
Russia,
yeah.
is there like a
Yeah.
culture of...
Yeah, like again, through the recent, I don't know, through the last several years, there's been again the same as in the USA, the rising of the age of retirement. So before, for example, women could retire at the age of 55,
Yeah.
and now it's going closer to 60, 65 even.
Same in Turkey.
Yeah.
What is it connected to? What do you think?
Well, life expectancy, I guess. Yeah, people
Yeah.
in Russia tend to...
Yeah, I think that has something to do with life.
Finally, live longer.
Yeah. And what was I going to say? Do you save for your retirement, or do you put money away for your retirement, or is that something you haven't thought about?
Not yet. I have other things to deal with. So
You're naked.
yeah, I have other things immediate action needed. So I haven't thought about it. Not yet.
I don't have a retirement account.
Me neither.
No,
And-
me neither.
And some people say on YouTube, you have to get a retirement account when you're 25. But I guess there's so much inflation anyway that it's not really going to
Exactly.
make a
Especially
difference.
in rubles, it's like
Yeah.
it's impossible.
Well, and
to-
soon the dollar maybe the dollar
yeah,
might.
also true.
Yeah, because there's...
The almighty dollar?
Well, even the pound and all our currencies are...
Even pounds, really.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
there's... Over the decades, these currencies...
That's
Probably.
the same kind of thing that we're talking about is this downshifting or doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's like not worrying so much about your retirement, but being in the moment now and really enjoying
Seize
what
the
you're
day,
doing.
kind of.
Yeah, seize the day.
Well, the way I look at it is like the best kind of retirement planning. It means that you're not materialistically greedy and you don't consume so much. So then you can sustain your lifestyle for a longer period of time.
Okay, so I know someone who I know her retirement bank account is really high. I know that.
Yeah.
She's loaded. But, it has a lot to do with being so afraid, that fear. And I just can't
Anxiety,
live like that. I can't. We're all going to die at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all going to kick the bucket.
We're all going to kick the bucket.
Yeah.
We need to enjoy our lives.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of being a very stingy person. I like that
Really?
idea. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people hate stinginess, but I like the idea of just like not spending too much money. And
Well, you're being frugal, not stingy. You're just being frugal.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
different, because if someone needed help, would you help that person? Would
It
you?
depends on what the help was.
Yeah.
If it
Well, let's
was
say there's brother, can you spare a dime?
Oh, okay. Yeah. If
That's what I'm
it's my
talking-
brother and
Well, what
he
about
is,
a little homeless kitty? I mean, are you going to feed the kitty? Or are you going to be so stingy that you just kick him? Benjamin.
It depends on the kitty. If it's-
Okay,
No, I'm
I
joking.
had higher hopes
love-
for you.
Rabbit.
No, I love my rabbits. I'm gonna.
You have a
Yeah.
rabbit?
Yeah.
I've got 2 rabbits.
Seriously?
Yeah. We got 2 rabbits.
Rabbit guy.
Yeah. Well, my girlfriend and I have 2 rabbits, and it's
Oh my
quite a.
God.
Yeah.
Why rabbits?
They don't smell bad. They're pretty easy.
Yeah.
Well, kind of
They're
easy.
kind of boring. I used to have a rabbit. Seriously.
One.
They just exist.
Yeah.
Was it 1 rabbit or was it 2 rabbits?
For me, it was just one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
if you have 2,
God.
it's funny.
Yeah, I also had a guinea pig.
Oh
It's like the
my.
most boring pet you can
Yeah.
ever have.
Well,
seriously.
coming back to work, I think rabbits you can sustain rabbits with with a heavy workload. Whereas
Going
if you
back to the
have
topic,
if you have a dog, can you have a dog and have a really hard work schedule?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I had 20 cats, and they added to my work schedule.
You had 20
20
cats?
cats?
I had a cat colony.
That
and
is
for
amazing.
10 years,
Wow.
I
Here
fixed
in
cats.
Ellsbury?
No.
No, I
I
don't
would
have 20
love-
cats
I
here.
thought it was here.
I
Yeah,
would
me
love
too.
to have
I
a cat
had.
colony.
Yeah, because you help them, you feed them, you nurse them,
Yeah.
get them fixed so that they don't proliferate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. So wait, where was this? Was
This
this
was in Forest Park, Georgia.
Oh,
Yeah.
That sounds so fun. I would love to do that. and where did they go poo and
Outside, they were outside.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
All right, so you just
yeah.
had a cat
yeah,
flap. And,
yeah.
And so when you came back from work,
Oh, then I had another job to do. I mean,
Yeah.
first thing in the morning, 5 o'clock. You have to get up. I'm on duty. I'm on duty.
so
Yeah.
how would they feed? I mean, how would you
Yeah,
have time
I would have to feed them. I have like 5 feeding stations, and I'd have to trudge out there with food and water. And,
Oh my lord, that's
yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot
Yeah.
of work. There's always someone throwing up.
I mean, I
and all
love.
that.
All right, well, I love
Crazy.
cats, so I kind of.
But getting back to the rabbits, what do you think about their long faces and they got the eyes on both sides? You can't look into the eyes of a rabbit. You have to go onto the side of the
Yeah,
rabbit.
Like
Eyes are
birds, yeah,
red.
basically.
Yeah, I like the eyes on the
Yes.
front.
Like more human-like.
Yeah.
Well, it's because
actually,
they're prey animals. and
Yeah,
like-
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
yeah.
They have to kind
Yeah.
of watch out.
But it's easy to take care of them. I just throw some hay at them, and they love the hay, and they play with the hay, and then when I come back
I'm
from
glad you have 2 because they get lonely.
they do you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
Not
have
fair.
one, but you need to give like a lot of
They live in a cage or enclosure.
Well,
something.
right now, so we're looking at we have an apartment that my girlfriend just bought an apartment, and we have a balcony, and they're on the balcony right now,
Oh,
and so basically
okay.
they enjoy the balcony.
Is it warm enough for them?
It is actually. It is. Yeah, definitely now. In the winter, I
Yeah,
had
maybe
to
not.
buy insulation.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
That's nice.
So they're low maintenance, generally speaking. Their poo doesn't smell bad. It's easy when you have a job and you come back home. You just give them a cuddle and then.
Yeah.
and
I
then go
really
back
want
to
a
work.
dog. Like,
I
I've
Yeah,
have
what
a
kind
dog
of
back in
dog?
Turkey.
Yeah.
My parents
What
are
kind of
taking care
dog?
of it.
One with
Yeah.
a long snout or a short snout?
Oh, I think a big dog, like German Shepherd,
Shepherd.
Yeah.
something like that.
Danilo or
Yeah, they're so beautiful.
Well, so-
like these eyes.
Oh, a
Yeah.
Caucasian. What they
Yeah.
call
Guys, we need to get a pet podcast. We really do. I love
Yeah,
the
yeah,
idea
sorry.
of pets. We can talk about this forever.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
dogs,
exactly.
cats, rabbits.
All
You
animals.
bet. We're going to talk about it another time.
I think you
Guys,
started it, though.
let
You
us
started
know
it,
if you want another pet podcast. We want to hear if you
We
want it.
do.
We do.
All right. So anyway, we were talking about retiring early. And what would you say is the future of work? Do you think that we're all going to retire anyway because we're all going to have no jobs in 20 years? What do you think? Do you think that technology will take the place of an English teacher
For
in 20
teachers,
years?
I think probably not,
No.
because students need personal approach. They need to,
Guidance.
guidance. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can call it guidance or push. A lot of
Push,
pushing.
yeah.
Maybe some threatening.
Forcing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, which jobs are definitely going to be taken by technological advances?
Yeah, I've looked through this list that you sent us. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Somebody sent us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there were a lot of drivers, basically bus
Drivers,
drivers,
yeah.
truck drivers, taxi drivers. I think all of it is gonna be like eliminated.
That whole industry will.
Yeah.
Do you really think so? Because I think there's always needs to be someone who protects the cargo. Or maybe the trucks will be so well locked by technology in the future. I don't know. Maybe there always needs to be someone who accompanies a cargo
Maybe,
load.
but just a person who was sleeping there, like,
Yeah.
but not driving, probably.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I'd prefer someone, a real life human to drive. I
Yeah.
don't want to get inside.
But for them, I mean, it's not such an interesting life to have, I guess.
Well, who was
It
it
depends
that,
who.
I
that
would love to be a truck driver.
Seriously.
Oh my
Do
god,
you
in
not?
America,
I-
that
do
would
you
be
not?
so
I used
cool.
to want to be
From
a
coast
truck
to
driver.
coast.
Yeah,
What?
because
Yeah.
it's kind of like this kind of myth thing of you know,
American
being
dream.
free.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Seriously?
But I've heard of
Yeah.
someone writing a book while they're driving a truck. So you can do things, not physically write a book, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
just
doing an
think
audio of their notes and whatever, and then
I mean, yeah, you can record yourself.
you've got lots of ideas you can be thinking about, and
I I mean,
That's
Natalie, have you been to America before?
No,
All
never.
If you go on the roads there, maybe you will get some kind of like. There's something so mystical about the American highways, at least in the West, and it's just
Why?
like.
Well, first of all, they don't have potholes. They're pretty well maintained.
It's not just
So
that.
It's only Russian would
That's
never
the main.
understand.
That's the main. That's the
It's
main
not just
thing.
that, but there's just something about like the kind of cowboy. Maybe I don't know if you're interested in like the old.
Yeah, of course. When I was a girl.
It's a freedom, a feeling of freedom that was, especially it happened after World War II when we got the freeway. Eisenhower developed this freeway system, and we had the manufacturing of the cars, and that was the real American dream. You have a Cadillac convertible, you get into your car.
But again, I mean, you have the destination to get, and you just go there, then you go back, then you go there again. So what is
No, it's the actual
freedom
driving
like?
across 3,000 miles.
Yeah, but again, you just drive there.
Oh, you just have
and
to
then
be.
you go
No.
back.
It's. Haven't you heard? It's not the destination; it's the journey.
Oh,
Yes.
That's the
okay.
purpose. Yeah, the driving is the
Yes,
purpose in a way, right?
I know someone who has a motorcycle and he goes on trips.
Yeah, with the Harleys,
Yeah,
the
of course,
choppers,
of course.
right? Yeah.
But it's like when you're free, but when you have, when you have to do something, when you have
deadline,
to,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Delivery stuff, stuff
Oh,
like that.
right. I see. Yes, I see your point. If it's a job.
Yeah, exactly. It's always like when you have this attitude, you work actually, yeah.
Right.
So it's much harder for you rather than.
But we're
just
also
free.
talking about not only a truck driver, but someone with their own personal car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you can see that point, right?
Yeah, but
That's
I don't have a car. Yeah. So, like barely.
Okay, well, I have a list in front of me of various different jobs that might disappear with time, given current advances in technology. So, unfortunately, maybe truck drivers might be placed out of a job at some point.
Cashiers, definitely.
Cashiers, yeah, definitely. So,
Physical labor maybe in the factory,
Yeah.
replaced by the robots or
Yeah.
mechanical things. I don't
You
know.
mean like construction work, like
Yeah.
erecting some kind of building?
Kind of.
By
I think
yeah. Okay, so do you think maybe not, because construction workers need? I mean,
Maybe the welding machines, welding robots, maybe they can be replaced with the actual person. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, welders.
I don't agree. I don't agree with the drivers, and I don't agree with.
Well, you mean you don't like it, or you?
No, I don't
you
agree
think,
that they're going to be
replaced.
Yeah, replaced. I
Yeah.
just don't
Really?
agree with that.
I'm
not
not sure-
entirely.
Yeah.
But
because in the COVID pandemic, of course, there was a huge shortage of truck drivers, at least in America. I remember reading the news, and maybe that's just a temporary thing. I don't know. But Tesla, of course, have produced amazing technology, and there have already been prototypes of driverless trucks.
Well, then did you see the video on YouTube where the police stopped a car and then approached it and saw that it was a driverless car,
Oh no!
and then the car took off?
oh wow.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
did the car have a cargo
Glitch.
load?
It had a glitch.
Oh, so it was just driving, and the owner didn't
itself.
know.
Yeah, it was a driverless car. I don't know who was
The owner?
controlling it, or if the car was controlling itself.
Fascinating.
Wow.
But that was on YouTube. You can Google it.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna
wow.
check that out. Right, so maybe not in the next 10 or 20
No, I don't
years,
Probably
truck
not.
drivers. Maybe,
And then will we really be here in 100 years? Who knows?
yeah, maybe kaboom. At some point, who knows? All right, well, let's keep going through the list. Let's just pretend that there's going to be no big kaboom, no big explosion.
And you're talking about an asteroid hitting them.
Oh, anything, anything. Yeah, it could be World War III or asteroid, whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's just suppose that that's not going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. We have here airline pilots. I don't think that's going to be
Oh, no.
sourced
No,
out.
I don't think so.
I'm not getting on a plane without a pilot. That'd be kind of
Yeah.
cuckoo. Let's skim through this list a little bit. Parking enforcement. What is a parking enforcement officer?
Yeah, that's the person if you park for a longer time
Yeah.
and your meter has expired,
Yeah,
they come and
yeah.
they ticket you.
I would love to see them disappear.
At all. Without any replacement. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, then you can't. Well, have you ever seen this TV show called Parking Wars? All right, guys, listeners, you do need to watch this show, Parking Wars. It's great for your English, especially your colloquial English. It's reality TV, and of course, reality TV is complete junk. Of course it is. Don't watch reality TV in your native language. But in English, I 100% recommend you watch reality TV because you get to see how real people speak in their, real tempo, in their real, pace of life. So Parking Wars is amazing. You see the parking enforcement agents getting into amazing arguments with people who park their car in the incorrect way. So So have you ever seen the show Stop Ham in Russian?
Oh, I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
I love this show in Russian. I watch this quite often. It's great. It's great language learning material.
So it's the same stuff, basically.
It's kind of similar, slightly different. But anyway, okay. So parking enforcement officers probably going to get replaced by robots at some point. Let's see another interesting job.
Well, delivery. You know, all of those little robots.
Yes,
they're using
robots.
Drones,
drones. Oh, that was just so intrusive. I would hate something flying over my head.
Yeah.
I would hate it.
It'd sound like a fly. Like,
I would not like it.
And what if they spilled your drink?
Oh
like
my
what?
goodness. Yeah.
how are
What
you
do
gonna
you do?
You can't complain.
Yeah, you'd have to call someone, or maybe who they've been replaced with.
Well, they provide so many jobs in so many, everywhere across the world. I don't think there's a place other than North Korea that doesn't have a, well, maybe some places don't have delivery guys, but
maybe no, actually, all the jobs that will be replaced. So maybe the people who will control these techniques, all these, I don't know, drones and so on, they will be the same people who lost their jobs.
Yeah.
Maybe. And in this case, we would
Right.
But do you think there will be enough jobs to go around in the
Maybe
future?
not.
That's the question. And
Well, it has to be a good matching. There are jobs and there are people, and then they have to be matched well.
Yeah.
That seemed to be the trouble, or something that I read during the pandemic, this big matching problem.
well, I can keep listing job after job after job that might potentially, at least in the next 30 years, be eliminated by the advent of technology. For instance, fast food workers, they're probably going to go at some point. Like a machine can eventually make a burger. It's not rocket science. But so a lot of jobs are going to disappear. What to do? What are societies realistically going to do when?
Well, if you're talking
have no
about
jobs?
the Industrial Revolution, and I'm talking about the late 19th century, leisure time, people read more and they strolled in the park and they had physical exercise. Women were allowed to ride bicycles. So we would be, so we'll just have to do things
Freedom.
that
High school.
I guess going up to, outer space and doing stuff that.
So in the 30s and the 40s, did people, or the 20s, did people in America have or how many hours a week would someone typically work?
Well, you recall that the Industrial Revolution started in London, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Victorian
So we
days,
inherited all of those horrible working conditions and all of that. I'm sorry, what was your question?
Well, how many hours would someone typically work in those
Right, you mean
days?
like during the Industrial Revolution?
Generally.
Yeah, that
within-
was the big fight. Yeah, they would work 12 hours and then maybe down to 9 hours.
a week.
A day.
No, a day.
Oh, a day.
A day. And then work every day. And children having to work too. There's child labor laws finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after the revolution, it changed dramatically.
The Industrial Revolution was what revolutionized producing things. So people did by creating trade unions and fighting for the workers' rights. And so that was what saved people.
Okay.
And that's what should save us, working too much.
Well, so I was going to talk about the topic of universal basic income, because this is a new topic that you might hear about in the news. Has everyone heard of universal universal basic income? Have you all heard of this term before?
Just from you yesterday. Yeah.
So this was a policy floated by, I believe, what was his name? Andrew Yang, one of the presidential candidates
Right.
in the previous election. And the concept of universal basic income is that every citizen in the country or in a given country receives a basic salary, rich
no matter
or
what
poor.
they're doing.
Yeah, no matter what they're doing.
It's like communism, you know.
It does sound kind of like an offshoot in a way. But do you think that if technology replaces everything, what can be done? Do you think UBI is the only thing UBI, universal basic income, is the only thing to replace that? What do you guys feel? Do you feel universal basic income would be a sustainable model, or we just don't have enough information?
I think it would be sustainable, but it would not work in the United States because we're too divided on such things like that. So it'd have to go to some other country.
Asia, probably.
Yeah. Well, you said before this podcast, you said something that there was a similar kind of program in Turkey.
Yeah, they tried it during the pandemic time.
Okay.
Because people...
So it's very new.
That's kind of
pilot
new,
program.
but as far as I know, it didn't work quite well.
Yeah.
So they just gave people a certain amount of money because they couldn't just get into their jobs.
Yeah.
But after a while, it failed because people were complaining about, all right, I was doing more than this salary before the pandemic. So this salary or this thing is so low for me, and I can't get enough out of that because I have a family to just take care of it.
Yeah.
So it needs to be kind of distributed equally, or I don't know, specifically for occupation.
Yeah.
So people were thinking about it, and it didn't work. It was like a 4 months or 5 months.
So it
thing.
wasn't quite universal basic income. It was just temporary unemployment program.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had it in Russia, but it was like really
Didn't work,
low.
Yeah, it was low. Yeah, it was low.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. In America, at least, because I was working in Nevada and Vegas just before I came here. And of course, COVID hit and all the hotels closed down and nobody could work. And it was amazing. Like a lot of people were making way more money than they would make in the hotel from these unemployment programs. And then the hotels had problems hiring people back afterwards.
Are you sure that wasn't just a myth? Or are you saying that
No,
really,
it's
you
true.
witnessed it?
It was you got a lot of money. I mean, I actually got more money, and I was surprised. I kind of felt like maybe I should give some of this back, but I'm not going to give it back. But like, it was just kind of...
Wait, it was in the USA.
In the USA,
But Nevada is its own kind of state anyway.
Yeah.
It's kind of a rebel, kind of goes rogue.
Yeah, and I don't know what it's like now. Maybe, of course, the hotels have found workers, but who the hell would want to go back to work in?
If you're getting
low
more
salary,
than
like who would want to do that? I mean,
Well, that's
So
the
what's the
argument
level?
against having it, as though people don't want to work. But there are people, we want to work, right? I mean, we don't want to just laze around and
I don't
It's
think.
like, what else are you going to do?
we're productive people.
I think after like a year, like people, even probably
They'll
shorter
get
people, would
bored.
get bored of not working eventually.
Well, that goes back to your original question was, then what are we going to do with our leisure time? And I talked about bicycle riding. But there are going to be things that, I mean, there are places to go and people to see.
Yeah. Well, it all comes down to a deep philosophical argument. Why are we here? Are we here to work?
Exactly. Maybe we'll have time to think.
Good
activity.
That's right.
Yeah, so guys, let us know. Are we here to work or are we here to play? What's the
existential question.
what's the ultimate goal of, meaning of life? So what do you think? Universal basic income, do you think you would happily accept a...
Oh, I definitely would accept it.
I would accept it for sure,
I'd accept it.
I would accept it,
but I'd do something else too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something
Side
good,
job,
for other people.
Yeah, what would you do if you could have your basic bills paid for? So you would go for a
I
bike
would
ride.
have an animal sanctuary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted to do one.
We could do it together then.
Yeah, that's a business.
Yeah. Okay, so what would you do if you had all your basic bills covered?
I guess I would go for, I don't know, as a rehabilitation center to I don't know, help people to take care of our kids or elderly, maybe.
Yeah. So I
That
guess
might be interesting.
universal basic income could actually help people to become more charitable, maybe. Or
Definitely, yeah.
That's
Because
fun.
we don't have to think about your necessities.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then I guess that would completely change the definition of money, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because money ultimately is the exchange of value for products. And I guess, I mean, I'm not against the idea of changing the concept
because
of
people
money.
are
but-
looked at as commodity. So, and it's what makes the world go around, as they say. I think there's a song about that.
Yeah, but it's probably not true.
Yeah, I think we've been brainwashed. I think you're right about that.
A little bit, yeah.
I think it's just, I mean, technology just completely changes everything. Like capitalistic models probably created the societies that we have today.
Yeah.
But now that technology is here, maybe something inevitably will take its place.
There are a lot of
It has something to do with the ruling class. There's always a ruling class that
also
needs to
true.
rule over us. And so they make the rules and then they tell us that we have to obey those rules. And if we don't, we get punished.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Yeah, and you have this program, you know, like you have to go to school, you have to go to the university, you have to start working, then you retire and so on. But now it's totally different. I have some students, they're artists, they already sell art. And they're teenagers. They're like 16, 17 years old. They don't need education, basically. They already earn money, pretty much money, actually. And it's like, it's changing the perspective totally.
And they're thinking, why should I study and why should I go for it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they still study because they kind of have to. Their parents tell them to, but
Well, the normal person does want to educate themselves.
Exactly.
So it's just out of
Basically for yourself.
curiosity.
Yeah, exactly. Only that.
Well, yeah, part of the arguments against universal basic income are, for instance, if you're a doctor, why would you want to provide your services for free if you're going to study so hard, and then why should you just become a doctor?
But speaking of Russia,
yeah,
like doctors don't have too much income, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, and they still study, they still work long hours.
but if technology is there to kind of, I mean, I don't think a doctor will be
Substitute.
replaced completely, but if something replaces a doctor, then that kind of takes away the need to study for years as a doctor and therefore request someone exchanges.
Well, I don't know. If someone wanted to be a doctor because of the passion and love of it, then they would not mind. Like Doctors Without Borders. I mean, they do some things free. So
They're working in
sometimes,
Africa. and
if you have a passion for something, you want to give back. I mean,
Exactly.
some people are like that.
Yeah.
yeah, like we.
Yeah, some of us.
yeah, like teachers.
Who knows? Maybe in 100 years we'll all just be jellyfish.
Who knows?
Or a rabbit
Or rabbits. Yeah.
with the eyes on the side there.
So yeah. All right. Well, it's a subject that can be debated for a long time. It's actually quite a controversial subject if you look at it from the perspective of the news. There's like really harsh debates on both sides of the left and the right for and against universal basic income. Has anywhere actually really tried it properly before? I don't think so. So I think
No, we don't know what to do with poor people. We don't know what to do with hunger. We don't know what to do with anything.
so it's
Still no
works.
solution,
so we need a country to volunteer.
Try it,
Go on, China. Do it.
exactly.
And maybe China might do it.
Yeah,
and
they're
we'll see.
thriving. Like, really.
Yeah. So,
Already.
guys, let us know what you think. Do you think universal basic income would be a viable solution, or do you not think so? Let us know in the comments. And let's leave it today. We hope to see you again soon, guys. So let us know what you think. Like, share, subscribe this podcast, and do sign up to our social media platforms, including VK, Telegram, and other platforms. And do visit our website, www.bigappleschool.com, where you can get more information on the courses we offer. And you can also read other interesting articles and listen to interesting podcasts like this one. So that's it for today, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
See ya. Bye-bye.
See ya.